I'm sure all of you have seen the new Jason Universe mask by now. I'm not really a fan of it, but I feel like it's my duty to at least make it one time. Also, I've heard that Spirit Halloween will be selling a Jason Universe mask, so it might not even be necessary to use my video for yours or anything for that matter, but whatever, this will be fun to try. Alright, I'm starting with one of those cheap made in China blank masks that you see all over the internet. I even sell them in my Etsy shop, so if you want to buy one from me, please use the link to my Etsy shop in the video description. Here I'm sanding the entire mask front with 120 grit sandpaper. This will ensure that the paint sticks to the mask. I'm using a Dremel rotary tool to make this easier, but it could be done with a knife or other sharp tools. It'll just take you longer and a lot more work. Now to me, the Jason Universe jaw looks like it's a bit more narrow than this mask I'm working on, so I'm going to trim down the sides just a little bit. The Jason Universe mask has fewer holes than a typical Jason mask, and so there's 18 holes that are going to have to be filled on this one. I'm using this wire mesh that I got from the craft store. You can find it at places like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and I'm cutting it to size so it'll back the holes that I'm filling. Now that the holes all have backing, I'm going to try to use Bondo to fill them. This is my first time using this Bondo. I used Bondo once on a mask years ago, so all of you experts, please cut me some slack on this. I know it's going to be messy. Now this Bondo requires adding a hardener, otherwise it'll never harden, and I'll find out here in a minute that I added way too much right here. This stuff is thick, but it still oozed through the wire mesh, so it didn't work as smoothly on the first pass as I had hoped. In hindsight, I probably should have used a solid backing, so you might use something more solid than wire mesh behind it if you plan to try this. This is the Bondo setting very fast because I used way too much hardener apparently, so this is only after 5 minutes and it already has this rubber consistency, so I couldn't work with it anymore. I let the Bondo sit all day just to be sure it fully hardened. The canister says it's ready to be sanded within 15 minutes, but I don't want to take any chances, so now I'm sanding it down with 120 grit sandpaper. You can see there's still some pockets to fill, and that's most likely because I was using wire mesh, and so it left some air pockets in the Bondo. So now I'm making a second pass with the Bondo. feels super smooth after sanding it with 120 grit sandpaper, but just to be sure it's ultra smooth, I'm going over it now with 800 grit sandpaper. You can see I still have some very small pockets in the Bondo, but they're so small that I don't think they're even going to be noticeable once the mask is painted. I'm going to leave them alone. I'm using almond color spray paint for my base coat because I want the mask to start out with an aged tone and not a clean white surface. I designed and cut these vinyl chevrons using photos as a reference, so these aren't exact, but I think they're pretty close. If you want some of these chevrons for your mask, please visit my Etsy shop in the video description. I want my mask to be dirty, so I'm using various brown paints for dirt and these sponges to create texture. If you don't have sponges, you could also use rags, paper towels, paint brushes, or other options that you find around the house. It's just a great way to create some texture if you're going to dirty up your mask. Sometimes I tend to go way overboard with the dirt, and so I clean it up by using a dry sponge or even a damp sponge or a rag or paper towel to wipe away excess paint. The good thing about craft paint is it's water-based, so it's very easy to remove. One of my favorite texture techniques is to gently scrape a blade across the paint. It creates an awesome weathering texture effect. This effect right here is one that I love, but some people don't like it, so it's completely subjective, much like everything else going on this mask. But I like to create a vignette effect by dry brushing black around the outer edge of the mask. It just gives it a really cool look to me. lastly, I'm very gently scraping some 120 grit sandpaper across the outer area of the mask. It's just going to give the mask more texture, which in turn gives the mask more story and more character. I love a shiny mask, so I finished mine with 3 coats of glossy lacquer. If you don't prefer a shine, then just look for a matte finish clear coat spray for your mask.